Welch and David Rawlings. It was released on the 2011 album Harrow in the Harvest here, one of their more iconic albums that maybe kind of put them over the top as the greatest folk duo ever. I don't know, but certainly an epic one, and Dave's guitar playing on this tune is epic as well. And as you just saw and heard there, I played through, some rhythm stuff, the kickoff, a solo, and a couple of these in-between licks I'm calling. And for this lesson, I've transcribed a lot of his guitar work from that album version. It's got 2 solos, one time through rhythm for verse and chorus, and then there's 6 of these kind of in-between licks, if you will, all E minor style licks that I'll be covering in this entire lesson. And they are capable of 1st fret, okay? Which is awkward, right? But they are capable of 1st fret, working out of E minor. If you want to access the full-length version, as it's a rather big lesson, and download all the tablature, the transcriptions for Dave's playing, click the link in the description below. All right, let's dive in. So let's put those first few bars here. We got the kickoff. The other guitar kind of starts out strumming for a measure and a half, and then the Dave comes in with this kickoff, and it sounds like this. So 3, 4, 1, 2. Up one note there, and I played 2 lines, 8 bars worth, because it's kind of like a 4-bar kick and then a 2-bar vamp in a way, really, and then she starts singing at the back half of bar 8. Yeah, here's what I'll play those first 4 measures. So it starts on beat 3, 2nd fret of the D, and then 4. So 1 or 3 and 4 and then open B string. So much syncopation going on all throughout this arrangement lesson. And you got to skip a string. So down, up, up, doing that B string on the upstroke, tied over for a beat on the next measure, and then 3 on the B, quarter note there, 4 on the G, open B, 2 on the G, open G, B, and then open G, half note, 2 counts there, and then 4 on the D, and then 0, 4 hammer on the D. Now, I love this. I don't typically hammer from the open D to the 4th fret of the D, and there's lots of things that Dave does that I don't typically do. But what I notice a lot as I'm working through this, it took me a long time to master everything he's doing and really understand it, but the thing I'm really coming to notice is his articulation, specifically hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, triplets, the way he's phrasing, and again, the articulation. I mean, I could just pick that, but he hammers it. And then in the next, 4, 3, it's all slid or pulled off to. Okay, and so his articulation is what really is starting to, I guess, I'm noticing and kind of make a difference and stand out, makes his unique style of playing. Yeah, I think that's something that really makes his style unique. So, and that 4 ties over to the downbeat and 3 more beats in the next measure, on measure 5 there. So I have a dotted quarter, dotted half that's tied over, so 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. So it's a triplet here, 4, 3, 2. And then down to 1 in the next measure. Again, I might have written a slide there. I think they're all pull-offs. I mean, you could go, but yep, 1 there, half note. And then 1, 2 hammer, slide to 4 on the D. So again, hammer, slide on straight 8th notes, 1, 3, and 4, open G. And then we land on 2 on the D. We make our E minor chord, we strum 4 on the D, open G, open D, back to 2, 0, 2 hammer on the A, open A, then we'll go to the low E. So I'll play that kickoff once more, then we'll get into the rhythm here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's the kickoff from the album. Now let's talk about his verse, and he, the rhythm playing, that is, sorry, over the verse. And of course he does this a couple, he tweaks it here and there as the song goes, but this was the first time through. All of this is the first time through the verse and the chorus. Should be rather accurate to his little rhythmic motif that he's doing, okay? There's a little pattern that he's doing throughout this tune. So we can hear it here in the first 4 bars of it, or, measures 9 through 12. That's the pattern to start it. And actually, if you want to be a little bit more complex, I'm not necessarily certain that he's kind of adding like some more eighth notes in there, like with picking individual notes within the rhythm, but you can kind of hear it. I somewhat simplified it here, right? I think he's searching for that rolling effect that he often does. He's playing rhythm a lot of the time, of course, when Gil's singing, but he's kind of adding like almost like a cross-picking element. He's adding that open G string or that open B string to ring out across. But again, I simplified it. And then going on to the next measure, the next set of measures, B7. 4, open G, 2 on the D, 1. And our first in-between lick, okay? There's a handful of these throughout. I have 6 in total. And some of them are kind of like 2 bars in between the verse, like, part 1 of the verse and part 2 of the verse, it's in between. And then some come after the chorus where there's 4 bars, and those are longer, of course. But that's the kind of style of licks, or how I kind of framing them in my mind, 2 measures and 4 measures. But yeah, B7 here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Starts on the upstroke on the D string, 2nd fret. Then open G, 2. Next measure, open B, 2, 0, pull on the G, 4 on the D, open G, 4 on the D, open D, quarter note, and then we land. So I'll do those 4 bars again. Ready, go. And I'll back up one more time here. Verse, measure 9. I didn't cover it too much in depth because I think it's rather simple, but so measure 9. Ready, go. Going on. Now it all kind of starts again. Going on there. So that's all pretty much the same. He doesn't go to the 4th fret here in this sequence, although you could. So again, if I want to kind of make it a little bit more rolling along, a little more cross-picking effect, not so straight strum, you know, that effect. I'm just picking the individual notes as opposed to just kind of a straight strum. I'm sorry, I do strum, but here, 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so I'm adding some eighth notes in there. And that takes me to the B7. So the next 4 bars, he likes that a lot. Simple, but he often will pull off from 3 on the B string to 0. And this lick here is something I wouldn't typically do. And again, he's just kind of cross-picking through those open strings, right? E, B, G, B. And that's over top of the E minor. And obviously, it totally works. So those 4 bars. Then we get to the chorus part here.